Now, first up, story and development of political churning that's coming out of Tamil Nadu. Leader of opposition and the AIA-DMK General Secretary, Edappadi K. Palaniswamy, has categorically stated that the AIA-DMK only formed electoral ties with the BJP for the assembly polls slated to take place early on next year and not to form a coalition government. He said, and I quote, that Amit Shah never spoke about a coalition government. Moreover, we are forming only an alliance with the BJP, not going to form a coalition government, quote unquote. And Palaniswamy told this to the media after walking out of the assembly in protest over the House not taking up the no confidence motion moved by the party against the DMK government. Now, Edappadi Palaniswamy made these remarks in response to persistent questions from journalists regarding Amit Shah's comments on the 11th of April when he spoke of forming a coalition government. Now, in Tamil Nadu, whilst announcing the revival of the alliance between these two parties with the AIA-DMK for the upcoming assembly elections, that's when on the 11th, Amit Shah had said that particular statement, asked, of course, Edappadi Palaniswamy by the media reporters. He said, well, that's not true. It's quite clear that the coalition government, Prime Minister Narendra Modi is going to be leading the NDA umbrella on the national stage, and here in Tamil Nadu, it's going to be led by me. This is exactly what Edappadi Palaniswamy said. He retorted that it was a narrative being pushed by the media, and Amit Shah made it quite clear that Narendra Modi would lead the NDA at the national level, and Amit Shah mentioned my name, talking about his own self, Edappadi Palaniswamy, as the one who would lead the alliance in the state of Tamil Nadu. It's quite straightforward, is what he said, reiterating that there is only an alliance for the BJP and that they will not form a coalition government. My colleague Sudha Sadanan joins us on the broadcast here, joining us from the newsroom. Sudha, 11th of April, we saw these two parties formalize that alliance. It had broken down earlier as well. But what does Edappadi Palaniswamy now mean to say when he says this is only for the upcoming assembly elections, no coalition government is going to be formed?
Well, that's a bit of a shocker, I think, because yesterday also when the newly minted president of the BJP state unit, Nayanar Nagendran, was asked a question, he was very clear that there will be proper discussion between the two, parties who've come up to stitch up an alliance, that is the BJP and the AIA-DMK. But now, yesterday, News9 did a story about a lot of rumblings in the AIA-DMK. For instance, because of this alliance, the head of the minority cell, Mr. Kani, he resigned. He said, we cannot be in alliance with a party which is allegedly known for its anti-Muslim stand. And several other ministers, MLAs, from different parts of Tamil Nadu were very, very angry about this alliance because Kabir, amongst other things, it came a cropper the last time also. It's not that it was a big success, etc. Of course, the erstwhile president of BJP in Tamil Nadu, K. Annamalai, had a verbal duel, had a verbal spat in full public glare. That made things very, very bad, and they severed the relationship in 2023. But what I'm saying is that maybe it's an afterthought coming from Edappadi Palaniswamy, or better still, it's a very, very clever tactic. Let's get over with the elections. We'll talk about forming a coalition government later. Kabir.
All right, Sudha Sadanand with the latest insights on this particular development. Many thanks, Sudha, for joining us here on the broadcast. Edappadi Palaniswamy saying that at this point in time, actually, as a matter of fact, Sudha, now that you are with us, when the alliance was being formalized, one question that did come about was the fact that there's a long time between right now and the elections. So great for AIA-DMK and the BJP to really get back to the drawing board, really strategize for the upcoming elections. But then again, critiques also said that this is enough time for fissures to come up, for infighting to begin between these two parties. What do you have to say on that front?
Well, Kabir, I think the elections are knocking at the door of Tamil Nadu. There is not enough time, and for political parties who are busy strategizing, stitching up alliances. And so far as fissures are concerned, you don't require even a day. It happens in a moment. Let's not forget that the ideological differences are stark between AIADMK and the BJP, and also the contentious issues of NEP. And what about NEET? Both of them differ on that, about Hindi imposition. So these are issues which are going to create major hurdles between the two partners of this alliance, particularly NEET. You know, AIADMK being a Dravidian party is very clear, no NEET in Tamil Nadu. But then, you know, the centre stand on NEET. And also the two-language formula which Tamil Nadu has been following for decades, as against the three-language formula which is recommended under the national education policy. What is anybody going to do about that? And of course, there are ideological differences. You know, there have been cases where earlier, in their earlier avatar, where they were friends, Kabir, they fought on everything. For instance, on Ganesh Chaturthi, one party said, we will take out a procession, the other said, don't do it. We don't like it. So there are several contentious issues. So it doesn't take a week. A few hours is enough. And there are differences.
Well, all right, we'll leave it there. Sudha Sadanand with the latest
Thank
inputs
you.
on this particular story. All right, take a look at this. The Bharatiya Janata Party has hit back at the Congress over its criticism of the Enforcement Directorate's charge sheet. We're talking about the National Herald case, accusing the Gandhis of panicking as their alleged corruption comes to light. Now, BJP launched a scathing attack, saying that the Congress turned a freedom-era newspaper into a private anytime machine, a private ATM. The party alleged that the National Herald had effectively become a money-minting platform for the Gandhis, and despite concerns raised by several senior Congress leaders themselves, the misuse continued unchecked.
नेशनल हेराल्ड केस भारत के इतिहास का बहुत विचित्र प्रकार का केस है, जिसमें कि कोई कंपनी जो कि 90 करोड़ की देनदारी में बिक गई, जिसके पास हजारों करोड़ की प्रॉपर्टी थी। दूसरी दृष्टि से देखें तो एक विचित्र केस है जिसमें खरीदने वाले और बेचने वाले दोनों एक ही थे। तीसरी दृष्टि से देखें तो बहुत विचित्र बात है कि यह दावा किया जाता है कि यह स्वतंत्रता संग्राम सेनानियों के कंट्रीब्यूशन से और उनकी स्मृति में प्रारंभ किया गया, देश के प्रथम प्रधानमंत्री पंडित जवाहरलाल नेहरू जी के द्वारा, और कांग्रेस के दौरे हुकूमत में बंद हो गया। 2008 में बंद हुआ। 60 साल में उससे पहले 50 साल कांग्रेस की सरकार रही थी। तो सवाल उठता है कि क्या कांग्रेस अपने 50 साल के शासनकाल में अपनी विरासत को बचा नहीं पाई? क्या वो जनता में इतनी अनपॉपुलर हो गई थी वो विरासत कि कोई उसका खरीदार नहीं था? बाकी तो छोड़िए, क्या कांग्रेस कार्यकर्ता भी अपना अखबार खरीदने को तैयार नहीं थे?
Now, meanwhile, over the National Herald case, the police have detained several protesting Congress workers. The protests erupted after the Enforcement Directorate had filed that charge sheet in the National Herald case, naming senior party leaders like Sonia Gandhi and Rahul Gandhi as key accused in that National Herald case. Today, the Congress Party and the youth wing of the Congress Party had planned to stage protests outside all Enforcement Directorate offices across the nation. The detained protesters were demonstrating against what they called a politically motivated move by the centre to target opposition leaders using investigative agencies. Now, the Enforcement Directorate had filed its prosecution complaint at Delhi's Rouse Avenue Court under the Prevention of Money Laundering Act. The protests, which took place in front of the Congress headquarters, saw participation from several senior leaders as well. Moving on, the Supreme Court is hearing a batch of pleas challenging the constitutional validity of the Waqf Amendment Act 2025. The Supreme Court has asked the centre whether it is willing to allow Muslims to be part of Hindu religious trusts and expressed concern over violence in Bengal over the law and order situation. Now, the petitions included those filed by AIMIM chief Asaduddin Owaisi and Aam Aadmi Party leader Amanatullah Khan and several others as well. The Supreme Court bench, comprising Chief Justice of India Sanjeev Khanna and Justices Sanjay Kumar and KV Vishwanathan, heard the plea. Senior advocates Kapil Sibal, you've got Abhishek Manu Singhvi, Mr. Dhawan, all of them advocating for the petitioners' pleas. And Kapil Sibal raised a strong objection to certain provisions in the 2025 Waqf Amendment Act. arguing that they infringe upon fundamental religious rights. Appearing on behalf of the petitioners, senior advocates Kapil Sibal, Rajiv Dhawan, Abhishek Manu Singhvi, they challenged the constitutional validity of provisions in the latest act. They contended that the new definitions and requirements interfere with the integral practices of the Islamic faith. Sibal referred to Articles 25 and 26 of the Constitution. He specifically pointed out to Section 3, Subclause R of the latest Act, which defines Waqf and imposes new conditions for its creation. Reading out the provision, Sibal said, "If I want to create a Waqf, I must show I've been practicing Islam for 5 years. But if I'm born a Muslim, why should I have to prove that? My personal law should apply." Chief Justice of India responded, noting that Article 26 is a secular provision and applies uniformly across all communities. Representing the Union government, Solicitor General Tushar Mehta appeared for the defense of the Act. Meanwhile, it's relief for Kerala Chief Minister's daughter Veena Vijayan as the Kerala High Court has ordered status quo in the SFIO case. The Kerala High Court has stayed further action based on the SFIO report on the CMRL Exalogical deal, maintaining the status quo for about 2 more months. Now, the order comes on a petition filed by CMRL challenging the findings of the report, which had named Veena Vijayan, daughter of Chief Minister Pinarayi Vijayan, as one of the accused. The High Court issued the directive while considering a plea filed by CMRL challenging the findings of the SFIO that levelled allegations against the company. The court has also directed both CMRL and the central government to submit affidavits. Based on SFIO's findings, the Ernakulam Additional Sessions Court had earlier accepted a complaint submitted by the agency. The High Court intervened just as notices were about to be issued to the accused. Now, notices were to be served to the respondents listed, including first accused Sasidharan Kartha and 11th accused Veena Vijayan. The single judge directed that the matter be listed once the court reopens after the summer vacation. Moving on, Malayalam actress Vincy Aloysius has sparked a heated debate after revealing a disturbing experience with an allegedly drug-using co-star on set. Without naming the actor or the film, Vincy shared that she has decided never to work with actors who consume drugs, citing an incident that left her deeply uncomfortable. Speaking at an event organized by the KCYM Ernakulam Angamali Major Archdiocese in Kerala, the actress stated that if I'm aware that someone is using drugs, I will not act in any film with them. Her remarks went viral, prompting her to elaborate further in an Instagram video.
I will make it clear. അതായത് ഞാനൊരു സിനിമയുടെ ഭാഗമായപ്പോൾ അതിലെ ആർട്ടിസ്റ്റ്, ആ സിനിമ ഹോൾഡ് ചെയ്യുന്ന വൺ ഓഫ് ദ മെയിൻ ആർട്ടിസ്റ്റ്, ആ ആർട്ടിസ്റ്റിൽ നിന്നും കിട്ടിയ എക്സ്പീരിയൻസ്, അദ്ദേഹം ഇത് ഉപയോഗിച്ച് മോശമായ രീതിയിൽ പറഞ്ഞാലും മനസ്സിലാവാത്ത രീതിയിൽ പെരുമാറിയപ്പോൾ എന്നോടും എൻ്റെ സഹപ്രവർത്തകയോടും, അതായത് മോശമെന്ന് പറയുമ്പോൾ ഇറ്റ്സ് ലൈക്ക് ഭയങ്കര, ഫോർ എക്സാമ്പിൾ എൻ്റെ ഡ്രസ്സിനൊരു പ്രശ്നം വന്നപ്പം ഞാനത് കറക്റ്റ് ചെയ്യാൻ വേണ്ടി പോയപ്പോൾ ഞാനും കൂടി വരാം, ഞാൻ വേണമെങ്കിൽ റെഡിയാക്കി തരാം എന്നൊക്കെ പറയുന്ന രീതിയിലുള്ള, അതും എല്ലാവരുടെയും മുന്നിൽ വെച്ച് പറയുന്ന രീതിയിലുള്ള തരത്തിലുള്ള പെരുമാറ്റവും ഭയങ്കര ബുദ്ധിമുട്ടായിരുന്നു. സഹകരിച്ച് മുന്നോട്ട് പോകാനായിട്ട് ഭയങ്കര ബുദ്ധിമുട്ടായിരുന്നു. വേറൊരു ഇൻസിഡൻറ്റ് പറയുകയാണെങ്കിൽ, വെൻ ഐ എം ഒരു ഷോട്ടിനല്ല നമ്മൾ സീൻ പ്രാക്ടീസിങ്ങിൻ്റെ ഇടയിൽ സ്പിറ്റിംഗ് സം കൈൻഡ് ഓഫ് വൈറ്റ് പൗഡേഴ്സ് ഓൺ ടു ദ ടേബിൾ. സോ ഭയങ്കര എവിഡൻ്റാണ് ഇത് ഉപയോഗിക്കുന്നുണ്ടെന്നുള്ളത്, സിനിമ സെറ്റിൽ ഉപയോഗിക്കുന്നുണ്ട്.
The actress recounted that during a scene rehearsal, a white substance spilled from his mouth onto the table. She said it was quite clear that he was on drugs. The situation worsened when the actor insisted on helping her fix her dress in front of the crew making her feel uneasy. Now, Vincy acknowledged that her stance might cost her future opportunities, but stood firm, saying, and I quote, "I don't want to work with someone who disregards how their actions affect others," I unquote. Now, Vincy, a Kerala State Award-winning actress for Rekha, is known for films like Janaganamana and Marivilin Gopurangal. Her statement comes amid ongoing controversies surrounding drug abuse in the Malayalam film industry. In a major relief, at least for the primary students and parents of these children in the state of Karnataka, and this is a News 9 campaign, Karnataka's Education Minister Madhu Bangarappa has granted one-time relaxation to these parents. As per the existing rules, a 60-day age leverage is permitted, but only for this academic year. After several rounds of discussions, a special government order will allow children aged 5.5 years to enroll in Class 1, but this is going to happen only this year. From next academic session onwards, the rule will revert strictly to the 6-year minimum age with no exceptions. After months of confusion over school admissions, the State Education Policy Committee, SEP Committee, has submitted its final report recommending that children aged 5 years and 5 months be allowed to enter Class 1. This is a rollback from the stricter 2022 rule mandating a minimum age of 6 years, which had left nearly 5 lakh students in limbo.
I have with me the Education Minister Madhu Bangarappa. Sir, you've made some announcement for the age criteria for UKG and first time students. If you could tell us what it is, sir.
No, this is exactly only for this year and state board only, because a state government, state board is there, not for centralized this thing, because they don't come under me. So only for this year, 5.5 plus they should have completed UKG. That is, then only they can come for first standard for this year only, not for next year onwards. But this has been referred by ACP, that is State Education Policy. We have our own committee, our own board is there where we are guided how to go about. So for this year, usually it is 6 years minus up to grace of 60 days only. But for this year, because the children have already passed their UKG, this thing, only for this year, this relaxation has been given. And Honorable Chief Minister also was telling that only for this year, if you can work out something. So we have worked out with ACP, that State Education Policy Board, and they have directed like this. And for this year, we have done it.
Well, that was Mr. Madhu Bangarappa, who made it very clear that it's only for this year where 5.5 is a leverage that has been given to the parents, but next year onwards, strict SEP rules will be followed, which will be 6 years for admission in UKG, for your admission in first standard.
And take a look at this. Tensions erupted in the Kathegali area of Nashik's Dwarka locality after a municipal team attempting to demolish an allegedly illegal dargah was attacked. 4 civic officials and 11 police personnel were injured as a mob pelted stones, taking advantage of a power outage in the area. 5 vehicles were also damaged in the violence. The Nashik Municipal Corporation, NMC, had earlier issued a notice on the 1st of this month declaring the religious structure unauthorized and asking for its voluntary removal within 15 days. When no action was taken, civic authorities moved in on with police backup to carry out the demolition. Officials said the situation turned violent shortly after midnight. Misinformation spread quickly, drawing a crowd of over 400 people. And despite the presence of 500 police personnel, the crowd resorted to stone pelting, forcing authorities to use tear gas to control the unrest. This is not the first time action has been taken in the area. On the 22nd of February, the municipal body had removed encroachments from the several unauthorized religious structures. Following that, a court ruled that the dargah in question was illegal and must be fully removed. The latest demolition drive was carried out in compliance with that order. Moving on, Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee went all guns blazing whilst addressing members of the Muslims community, imams, Muslim clerics at the Netaji Indoor Stadium in Kolkata over the Murshidabad riots and the Waqf protests. The Bengal Chief Minister has appealed to the Prime Minister to keep a check on Union Home Minister's actions, citing that it was some BSF members in the border areas who paid locals to pelt the stones. In a scathing attack against the Home Minister, she has also alleged that it is Amit Shah, the Union Home Minister, who is using agencies to disrupt the unity of the country.
इतना जल्दीबाजी आपका क्यों है? आप तो प्राइम मिनिस्टर कभी नहीं बनेंगे। मोदी जी चला जाने के बाद आप क्या करेंगे? आपको तो আপনাকে তো হামাগুড়ি দিতে হবে। সবচেয়ে দেশের ক্ষতি করেছেন আপনি। মোদি জিকে আমি রিকোয়েস্ট করব, দয়া করে লোকটাকে কন্ট্রোল করুন। সমস্ত এজেন্সিকে দিয়ে দিয়েছেন ওনার হাতে, আর উনি সমস্ত প্ল্যান তৈরি করছেন। এন্ড মুর্শিদাবাদ জেলা হলেও সিটটা কিন্তু মালদার মধ্যে পড়ে, এবং ইটস এ প্রি প্ল্যান্ড কমিউনাল রাইটস ইফ আই সে সো, কারণ আমিও পাবলিকের কাছ থেকে অনেক ইনফরমেশন পাচ্ছি। जब कोई ऐसा इशू होता है, कोई আপন आइडेंटिटी के लिए নিজের আইডেন্টিটি বানাবার জন্য পলিটিক্যালি এটাকে মিসইউজ করে। आई डोंट लाइक दैट। अगर हमारा भी कोई करे तो हम उसको भी कंडेम करते हैं। हमें नहीं चाहते हैं। हम चाहते हैं इमाम लोग, आप मस्जिद से प्यार से बताइए कि हमको एक साथ में रहना है। बंगाल में जो शांति रहेगा तो हम लोग सब अच्छा रहेगा। और बंगाल में बीजेपी पोलराइजेशन करने चाहता है, जैसे हमारा गवर्नमेंट चला जाए और वो आने से आपको तो खाना भी बंद कर देगा। प्लीज सी व्हाट योर होम मिनिस्टर इज डूइंग थ्रू सम एजेंसीज, एंड ही इज द प्लानर। He wants to change the game. He cannot change the unity of India. He cannot change the India. अमित शाह जी, आपको तो कोई पहचानता नहीं है। वो इसको ही पहचानता है जो गुजरात दांगा में देखा, वो लोग पहचानता है बहुत अच्छा से। वो आज भी हम लोग नहीं भूला। যে দুজন তিনজন মারা গেছেন, তিনটে পরিবারকে বিএসএফও গুলি চালিয়েছে, তার বিরুদ্ধেও অ্যাকশন হবে। আমি আমার চিফ সেক্রেটারিকে বলছি, বিএসএফ যারা গুলি চালিয়েছে কেন চালিয়েছে তার তদন্ত রিপোর্ট হওয়া উচিত।
Well, just like you could see, furthermore, the Chief Minister made that strong secular statement by calling religious leaders from different religions on the stage and greeting them. And she has appealed to the people of Bengal to not fall prey to the BJP's tactics of trying to fuel violence in the state. Meanwhile, Union Minister Kiran Rijiju has hit back at Mamata Banerjee, calling her out for fueling unrest in Bengal further.
That will be construed as defying the constitutional spirits, and also at the same time instigating the people. Who has to contend the violence? The state government herself. Now the person who is in charge of the law and order situation in the state herself is fueling this kind of violence, leading to death of innocent people. Broadcasting around that the Waqf properties, means the masjids, the dargahs, the Qabristan, these are going to be snatched away by the government. This country rules through a law. We are governed by the constitution.
Now remember, CCTV footages were accessed on the violence that occurred at Murshidabad over the Waqf Amendment Act and the protests. The CCTV footage shows wanton acts of violence on the part of the mob. The footage has been dated to 11th of April. And Mamata Banerjee has also said that several footages being released are of other states and past instances of violence elsewhere. Meanwhile, the Supreme Court may start hearing these petitions challenging the Waqf Amendment Act. A total of 10 petitions that have been bunched together being heard by the Supreme Court. Moving on, in a significant move to promote the Tamil language, the government of Tamil Nadu has issued a directive mandating that all government orders, circulars and communications be issued exclusively in the language Tamil. This instruction has been formally communicated to all departmental secretaries, district collectors and other departmental officials. According to the directive, any official notes or communications sent from the headquarters to government departures or departments and other offices must be written in the language Tamil. Additionally, letters or petitions received from the public in Tamil must be responded back to in the language Tamil as well. Moving on, 2 workers from Telangana have been murdered by a Pakistani national in Dubai. Ashtapu Prem Sagar and Srinivas were attacked by a Pakistani national at Modern Bakery LLC in Dubai during the working hours on the 11th of April. Union Minister of State for Home, Bandi Sanjay Kumar, posted on X, and I quote, "Deeply saddened by the tragic killing of Shri Ashtapu Prem Sagar and Shri Srinivas, both workers from Telangana who were brutally attacked by a Pakistani national at Modern Bakery LLC in Dubai during working hours on the 11th of April. I've spoken to the Ministry of External Affairs officials, and our MHA office remains in constant touch with them." Union Minister for Coal and Mines G. Kishan Reddy also posted that he was deeply shocked by the brutal killing of the 2 Telugu youth from Telangana in Dubai. Ashtapu Prem Sagar was from Nirmal district, while Srinivas hailed from the Nizamabad district. Kishan Reddy said that he spoke to the External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar, who assured full support to the bereaved families and the urgent repatriation of the mortal remains. The Telangana youth were reportedly killed by their co-worker during work hours, and 2 others were injured in the attack. Now, the attack was allegedly driven by workplace stress and communal tensions.